I think it wouldn't be bad to give him a week or two off like that
Mhm.
and just let him concentrate on strength training, being home for, relaxing a little bit, clearing his head, which is what I think was your prime reason for suggesting that.
Yeah, I think this is entirely a mental issue. Like you said, I mean, you see spurts, you see him do chase down blocks, you see him, you know, throw a dunk down or whatever. But when you see him in other situations in traffic and in the lane, it's like he's running molasses.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
doesn't want anybody underneath those ankles.
his
And it's
play,
like he's
yeah.
terrified that he's going to roll that bitch.
Yeah, and we all would be in that scenario, if you get in one car accident, you're on a swivel, all the time, and you're always wearing your seatbelt and all that. Well, unfortunately, for him to be the player he needs to be, he needs to go in thinking, not thinking that he's going to go in and land and turn his foot sideways. He can't think like that if he wants to be an NBA basketball player. And I don't know how you get that. I don't know how you block it. I don't know what sports psychologists can do or what hypnosis can do or what any of those. I don't know how you get over that block, but clearly, to me,
It's
his
like I
lateral
said,
movement's
maybe,
fine.
yeah, several
It's
shows ago, he's
it's
got to get
the block.
mad. He's got to get mad, and
Yep.
maybe he needs to go sit for a little bit, and then come out and the postseason might bring it out of him.
Yeah.
It really might. This may be sort of a trust the process kind of scenario from the coaches, from the training staff. We don't want you to get hurt during the regular season, so just trust your body. That whole dialogue that happens with a rehabbing player, and then they get into the postseason and he mixes it up with somebody somehow. I mean, he seems like such a nice guy, right? But somebody just looks at him sideways, catches him wrong, fouls him hard, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden he has to legitimately not care about the angle,
Hmm.
or his future, right? Because that's what's going on. I mean, what do you think happens to somebody mentally when they have a kid, right? All we start thinking about is the future, the future. Right up until you have your first child, you're all set. You're like, oh, I'm indestructible. Nobody can stop me. And then all of a sudden you have that first kid and that all starts to go away. That whole thing starts to erode. The weight of responsibility for other people, and I get he's already made millions, and you can say that that's not the case, but that doesn't matter. It's his livelihood. If he was making $50,000 or he's making 30 million, it's still his livelihood. It's still just the way people think, regardless of whether or
Right.
not it's rational.
Well, and like think of it from this perspective too, right? So he's, he does, he's a very competitive guy, clearly, right? And he signs here, right? Signs with Isaiah, signs with Horford, right? To really to bring it back, right? Then the
Yeah, I
Kyrie
didn't know
trade
what was
happens.
going on, but
Well,
yeah.
no, I don't know. I don't think so. But either way, Kyrie trade happens. Okay, we're this is going here. They know things are happening, right? They go to training camp, everything's looking good, team's looking great. 5 minutes in, doesn't even get a home game, right? So the whole year is surgery and recovery and rehab and blah 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 blah, really up until 2 weeks before camp, right? Never really has a chance to kind of live within the new body, live within the fixed ankle, live within whatever that is. It's basically been rush, 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 right up until camp. And now he's got to like play with this new body, really, and he's disappointing. He doesn't get off to a good start. Everybody does a bad role. It doesn't know their role. The team's losing games. He's missing shots. He's
It's a nightmare
physically
for a
he
guy who's not solid enough mentally in terms of his faith in his
right.
ability to play the game.
Yeah, because the core of what he is as a player, he has no confidence in, zero confidence in any of that. And the players around him don't have confidence in themselves because of whatever funky stuff was going on. Kyrie returning, Jalen adding stuff, Tatum. I mean, it was a mess to start this season.